So in today's video, we're going to be interviewing my client, Carla. Now, Carla has had some steady growth throughout her journey with Amazon. She didn't want to rush it. She wanted to do everything exactly right so it could be a sustainable business long term. One thing about this interview is that if you guys are struggling with arbitrage, retail or online arbitrage, she gives you a lot of tips that not everybody is talking about. And we've had a lot of clients recently starting to take some of the same actions that she took to really grow their business fairly quickly. So I'm excited for you guys to watch this interview. I think it's going to be full of value. You guys are going to take a lot out of it. I'll see you in there.
Right. So I started, so I retired a year ago and then I was working part-time for a little bit. And then in April of this year, I found myself like, okay, so I love to shop, right? I'm always shopping around and around the stores and everything. And I always thought in the back of my mind, I want to have like my own business one day. So I started doing a lot of research, watching a lot of videos, and I actually ran into your videos that you post in YouTube. And one of the things that attracted me that I thought about looking into this was your story that you were a police officer. I come from my background is in the public sector as well, and my husband is also a police officer.
Oh,
So
wow.
I admire your you had the courage early on in your career to leave something that was solid, like being in a career that has a lot of benefits and everything. I know what that means after being retired. And you took the initiative to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it, I didn't have the courage to do that. I wish I would have early on in my career, but I spent 26 years reporting to, work and doing everything that I was supposed to do. So I said, this is my opportunity. I have some money to invest, a little bit of money, and I love to shop. I'm always doing that anyways. I know that I can do this. I want to grow. I want to start something for me. And so I started looking at your videos. Then you offered that course, and I thought having a mentor is great. So I purchased the course, your course, and I studied the whole thing. One of the things that I think about all the time is that how important you said it in the very beginning. You got to go through the entire course. I hear and I see a lot of people post online that they're posting questions that are already there, that you have already answered. So, to those listening to this, I think that take the time to go through the entire content. Just study the whole thing because you'll find your answers there before you start asking questions. I don't know if they go through the entire thing and they just forget about it, but I took a lot of notes. So that was key to me. And then I immediately, when I was taking those notes, I wrote down everything that was applicable to my scenario. For example, you said, take advantage of the outlet malls to go, to the outlet malls if you have them nearby. I do. I'm so lucky that I do. So I took that opportunity. I go to the outlet malls, and that works really well for me because I have been able to even build relationships with the staff there. They text me when they have like sales going on, coupons, friends and family, they give them to me. They treat me like very nicely. And I do the same thing. I bring them platters of like cookies or whatever. We have built a relationship. They work really hard for me when I go and pull the merchandise that I need and everything. And so that has been a key success to me. Like those kind of things, write down anything that could help you from your course that is applicable to your scenario. That's what I would say to people, that has
Yeah.
worked out really well for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they do retail arbitrage, they're almost like, they almost feel like they're doing something wrong. Or they're like worried, oh, this manager's going to say something or this employee's going to say something. And it's like, you shouldn't look at it like that. Yeah, you may run into something like that. But if you always go into stores thinking like, I'm doing something wrong or I shouldn't be whatever, or I shouldn't let them see what I'm doing, it's like you're going to miss out on big opportunities like you're
For sure.
taking advantage of. There's another client that we have in the group too. It's two guys. Their name is Kyle and Aaron, and they did the exact same thing as you, and their business is flourishing right now, right? And it's like you have to be able to put yourself out there and see that you're running a business and you have something valuable to provide the people running this store because you're making them more money. So you should definitely take
Exactly.
advantage.
Even from the point of like, you can take advantage of any savings that you can think of when you're in the stores. If you have a tax exempt certificate, don't be afraid to ask, do you accept this? Because most of the stores will accept it, and that's savings right there. to increase your ROI. I even, I always make like 10 copies of it, and I have it in my purse because I'm scanning everywhere I go. I'm scanning products, and when I find opportunities to, to buy those items, and if they take my tax exempt certificate, I take advantage of that. So that's another
Yeah.
tip.
Worst thing that they can say is no. Best thing
Exactly.
that happen is you save all those
Don't be
sales tax
afraid.
now and all into the future, right? So it can actually add up quite a bit. Yeah. I think people
Exactly.
just yeah, I definitely think people just need to be able to get out of their own way and be like, okay, worst thing that can happen is they just tell me no. Carla, what would you say was like one of the biggest obstacles that you ran into your journey? Because you started from zero, right? When you joined the program, or did you
Yeah.
try to do this on your own first?
So from the very beginning, I think one of the challenges that I faced is like everybody has gone through this, and I think any new seller goes through that. So when you go and scan, you have the Seller app, and you're scanning and scanning and scanning, and you're gated in everything. It feels like you're gated on everything. I think that was the most challenging thing, but now I see it as an opportunity. Like if I'm gated in something, what I do is it's not a big deal. It used to be a big deal. Just try to I made it a point. I said, you know what? I put it this way. I was gated in everything, and I ran out of, in the seller amp, there's a max for like the plan that I had. There is a maximum of scans. I had to go to the getting serious in the beginning. I had to do that. So once I did that, I kept scanning and nothing. So I tried online. I went back to your course and I looked at all the websites that you suggested, like soccer.com, and I started getting ungated. So I made it a point every week I would get ungated into different brands. That was my first thing. I had to get ungated because I had to open up opportunities and doors for myself. And I made it a point to get ungated. As I started getting ungated, I started finding a lot of products. That's one thing, is like you open up I have the keys to the kingdom. I'm like ungated now. I can start finding items, and it was just like magic, like I started finding a lot of items, and started going to the stores looking for things and more opportunities. Now every time I'm gated, I just look for a website that will provide me with the invoice and just get ungated. It's not a big deal anymore. But it was and then I would get in the very beginning decline, like I think I started submitting goals invoices, and they wouldn't accept that. But it's not a big deal. You just try again and try again and try, like maybe buy another 10 items from another like Target, and just do it. Make it happen. You'll get it. And when you do, you'll find more products. That's just what you have to do. Just make it a point, make it a goal that's what I did. I had to strategize every week. I'm going to be ungated in 2 brands this week. And I started doing that, and little by little, I started ungating and ungating and ungating. And just follow the recommendations that you have in your course. It's very simple. It's not that hard.
Did you notice that it was easier to get ungated after you started making some sales or getting like a lot of auto ungates as well?
Definitely. Definitely. It was like right away. It didn't even take, like I would apply and submit what I had to submit, like the requirements, all the documents that they request. And within minutes, it doesn't even take a long time. It doesn't take a day. It's like you're ungated. And that was such a great feeling, because then you can buy the inventory or go out and find the inventory and, you know, send it out to Amazon right away. Yeah, another tip too, it's like when you do find those. So the way that I started ungating myself was I looked for products that would be profitable in the process. So it wasn't only to serve the purpose of being ungated, but as well as serve the purpose that it would provide me with a little bit of profit. I always did that, and it was perfect. And sometimes I ran into products that were like really profitable, and I always did what you recommended, test orders, not a whole lot. Very cautious, with the money that I had to spend in merchandise, because I want to turn it around quickly. I don't want the merchandise to just sit there. So I would do a test order, and if that worked, then I would double and triple, and that was great. That helped me a lot. to that recommendation, that tip from your course.
Going back to the ungating real quick, I think a lot of people get stuck on I didn't get approved. And what you said, it's like it seems like everything is gated, even though it's not, obviously, but it seems that way, right? If you're brand new, you don't really know where to look, you don't really know how to expand like your searches. So it seems like that. But once you start making a few sales, it's like things get so much easier. Even like bigger brands, the way that Amazon works is almost like they just kind of trust you more. So then when you apply,
I
you get
believe
approved.
so.
Yeah. As far as the tip for testing, yeah, I like to urge you guys to like test in the beginning because it's like this is all brand new, right? So if I came out and like, yeah, man, this product is great. You should buy 200. And it's
No
like,
way.
and you've never sold anything before, it's like that's scary and it's overwhelming. And it's like, all right, let's start with the test order. And then exactly like you do it. Start with the test order. All right, let's increase that. Let's increase that. Because by the time you get to your third or fourth order of that same, that replan, it's like you have so much more experience. You're so much more comfortable and you have a lot of confidence that you're actually going to make money with that order.
Exactly. No, and once that I knew that it was a good order to triple down or like double down, I would invest in that, and then any gains, like any profits, reinvest if you can afford it. I was able to do that, to not take, any profits for me, but put it back into the business because I want to scale, I want to grow it. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing. Anything that let's say that I made $3,000, $2,000 for me, I'm going to put that back into inventory. And so the more inventory you have, the more you're going to sell. That's how you scale. So
Yeah,
that's another tip.
absolutely. Yeah,
That
you have.
that it clicked like after 3 months into this. Oh, wait a minute. I have more inventory. I'm selling more. I'm gaining more profits. Oh, this is gonna work out.
Yeah, yeah. If you keep taking the profits out when you're trying to grow in the beginning, you're gonna be like, well, I'm still selling the exact same amount. And it's like, well, yeah, every time you make money, you take it out, right? So you have to feed the beast.
Yes,
You
you
feed the
do.
beast and it'll grow. Yeah. Carla, what were some of the mistakes that you probably made in your journey, just like everybody else, that a new seller could avoid?
When I first was scanning products and I was gated on everything, I got so excited that I remember I was at Marshall's, and I came across some vitamins, and right on the spot I scanned and I was gated, so I requested to be ungated, and they ungated me like right away. It was like an auto ungate. So I was so excited because they were profitable too, those vitamins, and I bought them. It was perfect. I came back home, then I'm looking at your video again, and they're meltables. And this is summertime. I'm not able to sell these vitamins. I had to take them back. It was so sad. I'm like, I found my first product and I can't even sell my first product. But that was okay. It was a good learning experience. So that was one of the mistakes. A recent mistake that I made with the FBM was that I wanted to, a customer was returning something. They claimed that they didn't receive the merchandise, and I went ahead and refunded that person too soon, you know. And then the next day, it showed as the item was delivered, but they're still claiming that it wasn't delivered. So I called
Mhm.
Amazon and I talked to them. They can't do anything for me at that point because I had refunded the they couldn't be a mediator for me because I had refunded the client, the customer too soon. So that's kind of like live and learn. Those kind of things. I had claims of counterfeit one time because of somebody put a review what they got, that it was probably counterfeit merchandise because something with the shoes got yellow or something like and so I was able, because I keep good record keeping. I was able to prove to Amazon, I show like my receipts and everything of my purchases. I got everything in order, and they were able to like not go with that, like they didn't put a bad review in my account.
Mhm.
I've had lost inventory too, and because I keep good record keeping of my receipts and everything, I'm able to provide everything to them. So that's one of the things that you have to do early on. I created a spreadsheet of all my inventory that I have bought. I keep all my receipts and the tracking numbers, like those tracking slips that you get from UPS when you go and drop off inventory. I keep everything in order. So I'm able to be able to work out those kind of scenarios with Amazon when I call them. And you do have to talk to them. I'm always with Amazon. I talk to them anytime that I have an issue. Don't be afraid. Call them, explain it, talk to people. They'll help you resolve it. Go through, the growing pains because I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn from the very beginning. I went through the entire course. I did your recommendations. I wasn't going to do wholesale for now. So I skipped that. I finished the course. Another thing that I did was Seller Amp and Keepa. I learned how to use that. I learned how to do set up the extensions for like all the Capital One, Top Cash, everything that you suggested. I took the time to do all of that before I started even sourcing. So anything that like from the very beginning, I said I'm gonna have a solid kind of like startup with this business. I want to learn everything first, and then I'll learn through my mistakes. You learn from your mistakes, and you just try to avoid them as much as you can in the future.
It's important to have like a good foundation when you're starting out. That's why I always recommend like watch everything, because if you start skipping around, it's like you're gonna buy a product and you're not even gonna know what ungating is, or you're gonna buy something and you're gonna think that you're gonna be able to list it, and then you go to try to list it and you're gated, or you don't qualify, you're restricted, or whatever. So yeah, it's important to just have that general knowledge of how to sell on Amazon, and then like you said, once you start selling on Amazon, like you actually hands on with everything, that's when your knowledge is just going to grow.
Right.
Carla, I did want to say, like, I feel like you're gonna have such an amazing business just
Thank you.
because you're actually treating it like a business. You're very organized. You're very like you have the right mindset about everything that you're doing. You're not like, oh my God, I can't get ungated. This doesn't work. Like, no, you see a problem and you overcome that problem, but you have a lot of patience and you have a lot of consistency. My next question for you would be what kind of piece of advice would you give somebody who's just starting out? Like they can only focus on a couple of things, or like what is something that helped you the most? Because there's a lot of people that come into this business and either they have the wrong mentality, maybe they don't have the right blueprint, maybe they're just impatient. Like what was that one thing that I think that you think kind of sets you apart and helps you continue to make progress?
If you're doing RA, build relationships with those vendors, with the staff. Always be grateful for what they do because they work hard to pull the inventory for you. Just you have to build relationships. That's gonna be a part of, like, it has been a part of my success. That's like my favorite thing to do. Go to the stores and talk to people because they have even gone to the extent, like I said, to text me when they have like sales going on, offered friends and family coupons to me. That was incredible. I'm very grateful for that. So that's I think invaluable, like tip, to do that, to just do that, and then OA is my second choice, because you do find a lot of sales and a lot of you take advantage of all the extensions that you have with the discounted coupons and everything. Sometimes, you may think something is not profitable enough, but you can make it profitable. You definitely can make it profitable by looking for those coupons and like buying gift cards or doing maybe reward points that you have. It'll become profitable. So you can make it happen,
Yeah.
or like, if it's not profitable today, it may be tomorrow. Save it in a Google spreadsheet and then you come back to it. And that always has helped me because maybe today is not, but tomorrow it is selling for a higher price, and you have reward points or you have like anything that you can use, and it'll be profitable next time. What has worked for me? A combination of everything, just put into place all the recommendations that you have in your course, actually. And it's just, there's no way to not be able to make money in this business. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because that's something that I really believe. It's like there's a lot of people who, may complain about this or that. And I'm like, guys, like this opportunity is
Everywhere.
crazy. Yeah, the opportunity is everywhere for sure. And I think that's a great piece of advice because most people when they think about building relationships, they think about wholesale. Build relationships with your suppliers. And it's like you're exactly right. Like these sources of where you go get your retail arbitrage inventory, it's like there are a lot of relationships to be made there. And it's like, if people focus on that, like you and like Kyle and like Aaron and like Taryn as well, it's like every single person who's focusing on those relationships is doing really, really well right now. Carla, where do you think you would be in along with your journey if you never joined the program?
No idea, because I probably wouldn't never known how to start, like where to start, to tell you the truth. I probably would have been watching a lot of videos and in YouTube and everything. And there's a lot of people that have like a lot of false they set, I think, a lot of high expectations for people, because they tell you you're going to get rich overnight. This is a business that you have to put your time into it. You do not get rich overnight. You have to treat it as a business, like it is. You have to work at it. It becomes easier even to find products later after you do your work. You do your initial work, and you do your homework. You do your sourcing and everything. You put in the time, and it's going to be rewarding. It's just like the mentality, like when I used to work for public sector, I worked really hard, and I always did my best 100%. Now I'm doing my best for myself 100%. And I'm treating it like a business. I'm putting in the time, and it is rewarding when I see the results afterwards. So it's not like a passive kind of like income. It's not passive. Like people tell you, oh, you're going to find there's a lot of false advertisement out there. And what actually really draw me to your course is that you're real. You're like a real person, and you're showing real examples of people that have been successful. But everybody will tell you that you do have to put in the time, put in the effort, and it's going to be rewarding. It's going to pay off at the end. You just got to work at it. Things just don't fall off the sky like easy like that. You have to put in a little bit of work, be consistent, and you'll see the result will pay off in the long run.
Yeah, completely agree. So is it safe to say that you would recommend the coaching program?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, I'm really thankful everybody is in the platform. I believe, in the Facebook group that you have and everything, seeing every success story, it's just inspiring. That's why I keep posting, because I love it. I love to be a part of the community and your, Facebook group, and the stories that people have shared. I'm not there, like some people are making a lot in sales, and I will be there one day, because I know that I worked really hard at anything that I do and put my mind to it and heart. And this is like something that I care for a lot. And I'm just thankful that I ran into your YouTube video.
Now, if you want to be a part of the one-on-one mentorship program that I do offer, that's helping my clients go from 0 to their first 10K per month in record time, you're going to want to click that first link in the description. It's going to give you all of the details that you need to know. But keep in mind, guys, this is true one-on-one coaching. I am helping you personally, no VAs, nothing like that. I'm not throwing you into a group and you're hoping for the best. I'm not telling you to show up to busy Zoom calls and hoping that your question gets answered. This is true one-on-one mentorship, and that's why my clients get results just like all of these that I'm flashing on screen right now in record time. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the interview, and I will see you guys in the next one.